The inventors of ironclads were innovative naval engineers John Erickson, who designed the USS Monitor, Confederate engineer James Buchanan Edds, who worked on the CSS Arkansas. An ironclad is a warship protected by iron and steel armor plates, powered by steam engines instead of traditional sails. They boosted revolving gun turrets and advanced weaponry. When ironclads emerged during the mid-19th century, with the first clash occurring in 1862 during the American Civil War at the Battle of Hampton Roads. This battle pitted the Union's SS Monitor against the Confederates' SS Virginia, where while the United States popularized ironclads during the Civil War, they weren't the first to experiment with this technology. France launched their first ocean-going ironclad, the La Guerre, in 1859. While advance in technology made stronger materials and steam power widely available, wooden ships couldn't withstand modern artillery, so ironclads became as important to maintain naval support. The telegraph was made by Samuel Morse in the 1830s and 40s with the help of Alfred Vail. The telegraph is a communication system that uses electronical signals to transmit messages over long distances. Operators use a key to send pulse, which were translated into Morse code, dots and dashes representing letters and numbers. When the telegraph became operational in 1840s, in 1844 the first message was sent from Washington, D.C. to Baltimore, where telegraph lines began in the United States and quickly expanded across Europe. The first transatlantic cable in 1866 connected North America and Europe, making it near-instant global communication a reality for the first time in history. It solved the problem of slow communication. Before the telegraph, sending a message across the ocean could take a couple of weeks. The telegraph made it possible to transmit information in minutes. A lot of inventors contribute to the development of steamboats, but it was Robert Fulton who perfected the design in 1807. People like John Flint experimented with earlier, but Fulton's success made steamboats. What steamboats are vessels powered by steam engines. The engine generates steam by heating water, which drives pistons connecting to propellers, enabling the boat to move independently of wind or currents. When the first passable steamboat launched in 1807 on the Hudson River, by the mid-19th century, steamboats were common on major rivers, canals, and even oceans, where steamboats became essential to the U.S., especially on rivers like the Hudson and the Mississippi. They also played an important role in Europe and later expanded to trade routes like Africa and Asia. While they were fast and more reliable, they could navigate upstream unlike traditional sailing ships. This made them invaluable for transporting goods, people, and mail. A steam locomotive is a rail vehicle driven by a steam engine. Water is heated in a boiler to produce steam, which moves pistons connected to wheels. The first steam locomotive was built in 1804, but it was George Stephenson's rocket in 1829 that demonstrated steam's potential for practical railroad transportation. They reduced time travel, expanded trade, and allowed to flourish by connecting raw materials with factories and markets. Their steam locomotives originated in Britain, but their impact quickly spread. From the Transcontinental Railroad to the United States to railways in India and Australia. Steam locomotives was invented by Richard Trevithick, who built the first steam-powered locomotive in 1804. George Stephenson, whose rocket became the model for future trains. Why? It allowed rifled muskets to be reloaded almost as quickly as smooth-bore muskets, combining speed and deadly accuracy. Though developed in France, the maneuver impact was felt worldwide. It was used in Europe conflicts and it became a defining feature of battles in the American Civil War. The mini bullet is named after French Army officer Claude Antoine Meunier, who refined the design in 1849. However, the concept was based on earlier work by Henry Gustave, who pioneered the idea of rifled firearms that could fire more than accuracy projectiles. The bullet is a solid projectile with hollow base. When fired, the expanding gases from the powder gun force the bullet to expand, gripping the rifling in the barrel. This increased accuracy and range, a game changer for firearms. When the bullet was introduced in 1849, it saw its first widespread use in the Crimean War. It became infamous during the American Civil War, where it a standard issue projectile for both Union and Confederate soldiers.
Photography is the process of capturing light to create an image. Many original methods used light-sensitive chemicals on metal or glass plates, while modern cameras use sensors to convert light to pixels. Nicephorus was the first to capture a photograph. Later, Daguerre improved the process with the daguerreotype. What we know now is from Eastman, who created film and the Kodak camera. The first process was made in France, but major contributions from the US, Germany, and Japan modernized what we know. Ambulances were invented by Napoleon's chief surgeon, Jean Loret. He introduced horse-drawn carriages to evacuate wounded soldiers, called the flying ambulance. The first recorded use of ambulances was back in the 11th century, but the modern ambulance service began in the 1800s with military medics. Civilian ambulances emerged in the late 19th century, and today advanced technologies like GPS, telemedicine, and AI are shaping the future. The modern ambulance system is worldwide, from densely populated cities to remote villages. It works through everything. It is a mobile emergency room equipped with life-saving tools for on the go. The hypodermic needle was made in the 1850s by Scottish physician Alexander Wood and French surgeon Charles Pavaz. It's a small hollow needle used to inject or extract fluids from the body. First developed in Europe and is now found in nearly every medical facility due to it being a very precise and commonly used tool. The mechanical reaper was invented by Cyrus McCormick. He was an inventor from Virginia. McCormick, alongside his family, played a significant role in refining and commercializing the design to make it practical for widespread agricultural use. It was a horse-drawn vehicle to harvest crops like wheat and other grains more efficiently than manual labor. This helped conserve time and reduce manual labor that you'd have to perform. Cyrus first developed the mechanical reaper in 1831, but it was not until the 1840s and 1850s that it was widely used. The invention gained prominence during the Civil War era as labor shortages made efficient farming tools very essential. Invented in the Shenandoah Valley of Virginia, it quickly spread throughout the U.S., particularly in the Midwest where large-scale grain farming was done. It was developed to fix the challenge of grain harvesting. By increasing efficiency, productivity, it allowed farmers to cultivate and harvest larger areas of land, contributing to the growth of agriculture and food production during a period of rapid expansion and labor scarcity. The modern submarine was invented by Horace Lawson Hunley. His design led to the construction of Confederate submarine, the H.L. Hunley, which was the first submarine to sink an enemy vessel successfully. Submarines were small underwater vessels designed to attack enemy ships stealthily. They often used innovative technologies like hand-crank propulsion systems and spar torpedoes, which were explosive devices mounted on poles. Submarine development began before the Civil War. The first modern submarine was made sometime in the 1800s, while the first dates back to 1620. Made by Cornelis Drebbel, a Dutch inventor, it was made of wood and covered in leather and could operate a few feet underwater for a short period. Submarines were constructed and deployed in locations near strategic waterways. The Hunley was operated out of Charleston, South Carolina. They were developed to counteract naval blockades and gain a tactical advantage in naval warfare. They offered the potential to bypass traditional defenses and deliver surprise attacks on enemy ships, addressing the need for innovative strategies in war dominated by industrial and technological advancements.